Los LAPD officers were involved in a vehicle pursuit with an individual in a Corvette that resulted in multiple officers shooting at the suspect, striking and killing him. Number one, the department has specialized units that investigate these shootings and analyze them. And number two, an independent group, the Office of Inspector General, is involved in these serious uses of force and provides an independent analysis of the event to the Commission. Both of these results are then provided to the Commission for our analysis when all of the details are compiled and independently reviewed. That takes time, and we have time to do things fairly and correctly. It is important for us at this time to publicly hear a description directly from the Inspector General of the process for investigating and examining these cases every time there is a serious use of force or an officer-involved shooting. So I'd like the Inspector General, Alex Bustamante, to describe the process for reviewing cases such as the one that occurred Friday night.
Thank you, Mr. President. As the Commission is aware of and just recognize the process for reviewing categorical or the more serious uses of force like the one that happened on Friday, there's a very detailed and very robust process that the department has in place for examining them, and it starts off with the actual scene of the crime, or the scene of the incident. When there is a use of force, a serious use of force, what immediately happens is on scene the officers will be separated so that they're unable to talk to themselves about the incident while investigators are en route. Calls will go out to a specialized unit called Force Investigative Division, which sole responsibility is to investigate these categorical or these serious uses of force. And then a call will also go out to the Inspector General's office, my office, which we will immediately send one of our investigators to go to the scene and monitor everything that's going on for the initial part of the investigation. It doesn't stop there. As evidence is being collected by Force Investigative Division and the forensics are being examined by specialized units within the Los Angeles Police Department, just like any other investigation, the Inspector General's office will be working with the department to uncover all the relevant facts. At the same time, we'll be examining everything independently to make sure that things are on track and that there are no issues with the quality or thoroughness of the investigation. Within 72 hours of the incident, there's an initial brief that occurs before the department where there is a assessment, a very incomplete assessment, since a lot of investigation still needs to occur. We are at that meeting, and we provide whatever insight or opinion or guidance that we have. There is then a investigation that is undertaken by Force Investigative Division when it gets all the forensic evidence together, compiles all the witness statements, and does what other investigative things that are necessary. Our office gets a copy of all of that information, and my team will be looking and examining every scientific shred of evidence, anything involving the scene, witness statements, to make sure that nothing is missing and that no stone is that everything is uncovered and turned over so that we have adequate information to give an opinion to the Commission. Once the investigation is actually toward the tail end and all necessary steps have been taken, then it'll be presented to a Use of Force Review Board within the department to make a decision for the chief's consideration on whether the incident is out of policy or in policy. We will attend that as well and give our opinions as to the quality of the investigation and the decisions that are made. Then that packet, that information, will be presented to the chief if the chief agrees. If the chief feels that this is the correct result, he will sign a report. That report, which details everything about the investigation, including all the facts, will come to my office. My office will then deconstruct that report. We will look at everything in the report, all of the issues, all of the witness statements, all of the investigative concerns, any of the quality issues, including the policy, analysis of the policy. We will provide our own written report that looks at absolutely everything and sometimes critiques the department's view of things. And we will provide our own independent analysis in a separate report to the commission. When the commission has both of those reports and a formal briefing occurs in closed session, then the commission, as Mr. President is aware, will make a determination on whether the incident is in policy or out of policy. And that is a very quick brief of what actually occurs.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner, comments? Commissioner Figueroa?
No, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Saltzman?
Just to thank you, Mr. President, and the Inspector General for giving us and the public a reminder of the important role that we play in the process, the department's role, and how seriously we all take this. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda is the report of the Chief of Police, Chief Beck.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
First, a couple of comments about the week's past incidents. The officer-involved shooting that has been discussed on Friday. Just as a reminder, officers are removed out of the field until that 72-hour brief, which Alex discussed. At that 72-hour briefing, I make a determination as to whether or not they're suitable for field duty relative to the decisions that they made on that particular use of force. If they're sent back to the field, they are trained prior to being sent back to the field. If they're kept out of the field, as is sometimes happens, they're kept out of the field until the entire use of force board is completed, and then at which time I'll make a decision as to whether or not training or discipline is required. Saturday, the city participated in a statewide gun buyback. Was successful, recovered over 800 weapons off the streets of Los Angeles, many of which were assault weapons and handguns that are commonly used in crime. This is the 7th gun buyback we've done. First one was in 2009 before I was chief, but I was chief of detectives and ran that. They have had varying degrees of numbers of firearms recovered, and I think sometimes people judge by that. But really, I think the true value is in the reduction of gun violence in the city. Just as an example, the last year before we started gun buybacks, we had 1,600 shootings where people were struck in the city of Los Angeles. This year, we will end up with well under 1,000.
Wow.
So it is not the only piece of our violence reduction strategy in the city of Los Angeles, but it's an important component, and it talks about what the city values, and it also allows an avenue which normally doesn't exist for people to get unwanted guns out of their home. Guns are very difficult to dispose of, and many people come to a point in their life where either family heirlooms or the possessions of others in the family are no longer wanted in the home, and this gives them an opportunity to dispose of them. So gun buybacks are a positive thing. There's much discussion about their efficacy, but I would point to those that cry against them as being very single-minded. Discussion of Part 1 crime. This will be my last report in commission. We will do a Part 1 crime summary with the mayor, to which the commission will be invited probably the first week in January. But these numbers are pretty close to where they will be, absent some catastrophe. Homicides were down 16.3%. That's almost 50 homicides less than we had last year. The largest single annual reduction in homicide in the last decade. Rapes are down 25%, by far the largest single-year reduction in rapes in the, I believe, the city's history. Robberies down 12.7%, aggravated assaults down 9.3%. Total violent crime reduction just under 12% compared to 2012. And in 2012, the city of Los Angeles had the greatest violent crime reduction of any of the top dozen cities in the state of California. And top dozen cities go down into, cities that have 1/10 the population of the city of Los Angeles. Property crime, we're down in all four categories of property crime, a total of 3.5% in the aggregate. This gives us a total Part 1 crime reduction of 5%. That's a significant reduction as compared to last year. Shootings are down overall. Shots fired are down 14.2%, and reports of victim shots are down 15.4%. All of our four bureaus, the geographic bureaus in the city, show Part 1 crime reductions. Gang crime, there's 11 categories of crime, everything from homicide to extortion, that are measured to show the status of gang-related crime in the city of Los Angeles. Total gang crime is down 17.8% compared to 2012, and an astonishing 25% compared to 2011. Since officer-involved shootings are one of the topics of today, we've had 43 officer-involved shootings year to date. This is a total of 7 higher than we had in 2012, but is right at the 5-year average and well below our total in 2011, which was 58. So, as the Inspector General and the President of the Police Commission pointed out, every shooting is looked at exhaustively and individually, but we also track for trends and try to address those trends through training and officer selection. Sworn personnel statistics, we have 9,891 sworn personnel on payroll and 31 recruits on the academy which are not yet on payroll. One of the great mysteries of life in the police department is you don't have to pay anybody for the first 2 weeks they work, but we include them. On the other end, though, when you retire, you get paid for the 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of your retirement, so all you get. Reserve officers, 275 level 1 reserves, 22 level 2s, 131 level 3s, 392 specialist volunteers, 44 chaplains, 2,804 civilian personnel, and 543 civilian vacancies, and we have just over 4,000 cadets in our program. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have one public comment card.
And we have a commissioner question.
Okay.
Chief, you mentioned that this will be the last time you're making this report here, and you will now make it to the mayor. Can you explain that?
Oh, just for the for this year.
Oh, this
you know,
year,
you will be forced to listen to my report on crime every Tuesday.
I was just hoping, that the public still gets that.
Oh no, we will always put. You know what, the report is not only made public in the police commission, but is available on the website. You know, we try to keep. We stress the quality of what we do by the transparency of how we do it, and the making the crime figures are very important. Making them public.
And what do we do with guns in the buyback?
All the guns will be shredded into small pieces of metal, and then most of them will be melted up and turned into rebar for construction purposes. Although we have done several different things with them in the past. If we get a truly unique gun, we'll go into the gun library. There's a scientific investigation division has what's called a gun library, as most large forensic labs do. And the goal is to have one of every gun ever manufactured, so that you can compare the type of ballistics and discover, when you just discover rounds at a crime scene, you can readily identify what kind of weapon they came from, because every weapon has a unique characteristic, not only unique to itself, but also unique to that particular gun as compared to others, that particular brand of gun as compared to others. So. And I don't know if we got any unique guns this time, but the unique ones will go in the gun library. The rest of them are shredded into metal. And sometimes, matter of fact, we've had a couple of sculptures done. There's one right outside my office with them, and they're all made inert.
It's nice to know that future buildings of Los Angeles will be held up by will be physically held up by a rebar made of guns that were turned in.
Yeah, well, that's very high-quality steel, and it really goes in the rebar.
Good. Okay.
And we do have one public comment card. We have Mr. Jabril Mohammed.
Good morning, Commissioners,
Morning.
Chief. I just heard the reporting regarding crime, and we just had an incident where a youth was slain in the Cadillac area close to Kaiser. He was 7 years old. We're in crises. This community, we're in crises. We need to untie these knots that are challenging our safety. And when we are stricken with such a crime where a youth of 7 is shot and killed, it should raise our concern in a real way. I'm curious as to the chief's report in regards to the gathering of the guns and how effective that is. I'm also curious to the recommendations that are given in the closed sessions. When we go into the closed sessions, we speak in regards to the officer-involved shootings, and we speak in regards to the recommendations. And then Chief just spoke in regards to transparency. And we as the people, we never see what the chief has recommended in regards to the incidents in terms of the police involved in the shootings. Now here we have citizens involved in the shootings. We as the public, we're concerned as to how that policy is dealt with. You know, the IG gave such a great explanation regarding what the IG's policies are. We need to know what our policies are in approaching the people's crises in terms of the violence that we suffer.
Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is the report of the Executive Director, Mr. Tifang.
Good morning, Mr. President, members of the Commission. Just a few housekeeping items. There will be no Commission meeting next Tuesday, December 24th, nor the following Tuesday, December 31st. The next regular Commission meeting will be January 7th of 2014. And also, as the public will remember, that the Commission, when seated in August, indicated that they wanted to have a specific outreach period throughout the community and have community meetings. Under that direction of the President and members of the Commission, the first community meeting of this Commission is scheduled for January 14th, 2014 at 6:30 p.m. It'll be in Councilmember Mike Bonin's district, and it will be held at Daniel Webster Middle School, 11330 Graham Place in Los Angeles. That'll be posted on our website today, along with press releases issued that, and the community is encouraged to attend. There'll be reports from Operations West Bureau and Captain Brian Johnson, the commanding officer of Pacific Division. Chief Beck will be there, along with the Inspector General, members of the Commission, to hear from the community any issues or concerns the community may have in that particular geographic area. And we will be scheduling further meetings throughout the year, probably every quarter, until we conclude with all 15 of the council districts over the term of the Commission. And then we'll start again with Councilmember Bonin's district. Also, as a item for the community, and particularly for individuals who operate in the valet industry in the city of Los Angeles, there was recently enacted a valet ordinance that regulates valet operations that take place on the public right-of-way, along with the permitting requirement for valet attendants who move vehicles. Our Commission Investigation Division has done a significant outreach and orientation program to the industry, encouraging members who operate as valet operators or attendants to get permitted, and we're continuing with that process. We are going to be issuing some more media information to have individuals get permitted. It is our intent, effective February 1st, to begin enforcement of that ordinance, so any valet operator or attendant without a permit on February 1st of 2014 will be subject to the appropriate sanctions of the ordinance. And that concludes my report, sir.
Thank you. Item number 4 on the agenda is the report of the Inspector General, Mr. Bustamante.
Thank you, Commissioners. I have nothing to report today.
Okay. Item number 5 consists of information filed items relative to noise variances and special event permits submitted for the period ending December 13, 2013. Item number 6, presentations. Do we have any presentations?
Not today.
Thank you. Item number 7 is consent agenda items. These items are considered to be routine and non-controversial, upon which the board is provided with adequate information for approval without inquiry or discussion. Would a commissioner wish to pull an item as special for discussion from 7A through 7J?
Let's have a motion for approval of all items, A through J.
Motion to approve A through J.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're now on item number 8, regular agenda items. Item number 8A is a verbal presentation. Would a commissioner wish to pull any item from 8B through 8D as special for discussion?
Move approval of items 8B through 8D.
Second.
Will you make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Approved.
Okay, we are now on item 8A, verbal presentation and update from the commanding officer and Community Police Advisory Board representative regarding community-initiated problem-solving, crime strategies, and other programs and goals within the Newton area.
Welcome.
Morning. Morning, Mr. President, members of the Commission.
Morning.
Newton area is 9 square miles, approximately 150,000 residents, and roughly 5,000 Part 1 crimes a year. Currently, we're sitting at a 3.7% overall crime reduction, with our most significant gains and accomplishments in violent crime reduction with a 21% drop. Some landmark neighborhoods are the Produce District, the Fashion District, South Park, and the Pueblo del Rio housing development, which is home to 675 families. Our focus this past year has been recruitment and youth engagement. We have successfully overhauled our police activities and athletic league, our PAL League, and created a new 501c3 with an energized board. We brought on 8 new board members and currently have 2 more who are willing to join. The program has been expanding exponentially and currently serves 450 kids ages 8 to 13 in 2 different venues, all without any promotion or outreach from us. The 2 facilities are obviously at Newton Station, and the second is in the Pueblo del Rio housing development in partnership with Housing Authority City of Los Angeles, who has been a great partner and supporter of the program. I couldn't be prouder of our outreach and recruitment. We have spent a tremendous amount of collective effort on this, and as of this month, we are at 54 members for our CPAP, up 125% from January when we had only 24. This new board brings excitement, energy, and some great capabilities. Specifically of the 54, a quick breakdown, 37% of the members are Hispanic, 38% are African American, and 10% are Asian. Professional affiliations run the gamut from 40% being involved in NPOs, NGOs, or other political organizations. 34% are business owners, 13% are clergy members, and 8% are school administrators. Our ages span a wide range as well. 13% are 20 to 30 years old. We have 6 members that are 30 to 39, 11 from 40 to 49, and same thing going up all the way up to 60 and 70 years old. I will turn over to my partner and co-chair Gilbert Rodillo to discuss our goals and focus for 2014.
Thank you, Captain. Good morning, Commissioners and Chief.
Morning.
We want to continue the recruitment of the CPAP. We were very successful last year. With our buddy system, every CPAP member is invited to bring a new person from the community to join the CPAP. The SLOs were also very instrumental in bringing business owners, school principals, and other members of the church. We want to do monthly community cleanups. We have our first slated for Saturday, February the 15th. We have the support of our councilman. He will supply tools, gloves, bags, and then some of our CPAP members that are business owners, such as a franchise owner of Subway, is going to supply some of the food as well. So we're very fortunate to have a lot of resources to kick off our cleanups. We want to prioritize location by interest from the members based on crime locations as well. We feel that if there's an area that's a hot spot and there's a lot of crime, if we do a cleanup and have some community engagement and community presence, it might help reduce crime in that area. Development of the youth CPAP is very important to us. We feel that if we want to launch this next year, very early, maybe in January or February. We want to incorporate our cadets as well as some of our PAL members and other teens and youth from the community that are engaged in high school activities or part of NPOs. Another one of our goals is officer engagement with the CPAP members. We want to do informal greetings, meet and greets. We want to basically design awareness. We figured that there's some police officers out there that do not know what a CPAP is, and we want to ensure that they know who we are and what we do and how we are partners in the community to help them reduce crime as well. And then there's some CPAP members and other community members that are not quite familiar with their officers as well, so we want to kind of just do those meet and greets so that we all get to know each other in a friendly way. Lastly, we also want to do quarterly community events similar to National Night Out, but we feel that we do not have to wait for National Night Out to have a nice community event with the captain's presence and the SLO's presence and some other police officers present. We feel that we were we were successful this past summer with over 300 attendees at our National Night Out. We had some youth involvement, we had some food, and we had wrestlers. Even the captain got body slammed at one point, so that was pretty cool. So there's no reason for us to not have.
I bet it wasn't.
Wasn't that comfortable?
So we definitely want to do this. We have a few ideas, and again, we have the resources within the community to launch these, so we're very excited about that. Thank you.
Any questions, ma'am, sir?
I think I was out there yesterday, as you know, and you're explaining to me about the number of gangs you have, and I think it's a good thing to bring up so people can realize the importance of your
9
CPAP.
square miles, we're averaging about 52 criminal street gangs with over 5,000 documented members. So it's a significant challenge for us, and it's something we face every single day, and we pay attention to it.
Makes the work of your CPAB and your boosters more important than ever.
Correct.
Great. Are there any questions?
We do have one public comment card, sir. We have Mr. Jabral Mohammed.
Again, good morning, Commissioners. As you Commissioners well know, this is Jabral Mohammed for Bismillah, the Justice Movement. As you know, I was personally a victim of violent crime in the Newton area. And as a result of that, there was a great deal of difficulties having papers filed and, just networking with the administration and the city attorney's office. There had seemed to be a breakdown in the efforts to investigate paperwork. So now when we were speaking in terms of our youth and our cadets, and then we see that in the reporting there's a problem in terms of getting reports in on time. Why aren't we incorporating the cadets to assist in these areas? Incorporating these young energies to assist in these areas as far as support is concerned, as well as giving them some how can I say, introduction in regards to the criminal justice system. I think that could shore up some of our problems in regards to the paperwork. Okay, we have, like I say, we're in crises. I just understand 18 youngsters indicted, subject to go to prison in regards to the sheriff's department. So we have a lot of things to deal with. But in terms of our young energies, I think that we need to incorporate them a little bit more as far as being support factors, especially in the clerical areas where they're not subject to jeopardy. I just wanted to just make that comment in regards to Newton, because the lack of that type of clerical effort caused me a problem in regards to having reports filed on time.
Thank you, sir. Happy holidays.
That is the final comment card, sir, on this item.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are now at the point of public comment.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Item number 9, public comment. We have Mr. Juarez.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, sir.
I saw the chief this morning in the news. He said something about police killed somebody, some guy, and the police officer, the police chief said, no, that is okay. You know, right here in the police commission meeting and the police department, there is a cold-blood killer and drug dealer. Drug dealer like Rafael Perez, Rampart number 1. Cold-blood killer, Frank Hernandez from Rampart number 2, Rampart number 1. So I've been waiting for justice for 25 years, 5 months. And anytime I come to the police commission, you better wake up, police commission, because you gotta get paid for the job. 25 years waiting for justice. Complain for police, complain for the border patrol and the sheriffs. So I hope someday, before I die, I get paid. A state bar, justice department, no, no good. Anytime I went to the Barbara Boxer office, they give me a form. They say, put the number of your application to come to be American citizen. I don't want to be American citizen. I want justice because 25 years waiting for justice is too much. So I feel sorry because in 1970, Vernon police put me in the police car like this. They go in front of me. I got away from the handcuffs. What kind of policies are those? They get to sleep. So 3 times police brutality on me, they can stop me. They want to stop me. They got to kill me. Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas. But somebody listen to me. 25 years, 45 years, 100, oh, come on. No, LA police, no good. All right.
Thank you. The next speaker is Jabral Mohammed.
Morning again, Commissioners. As you can see, you know, it's not a popularity contest. This is a comment in regards to the justice that was just spoken of. We need a little bit more transparency. Now, the IG gave a great analysis as to how things are approached in regards to these officer-involved shootings and in regards to all of this, how is it, officer in custody deaths, you know, they have those as well. But we don't get again, what the chief has recommended. What resolution? We as the people would like to know the resolution that has come to so that we can better gauge how we should conduct ourselves in regards to carrying out our grievances with the administration. Okay, so in keeping with all that, again, transparency. You know, we get the good reports, but we do not get the resolve. Okay, what has been concluded, what has been determined. Okay, how can we better make it better? Okay, this is my concern. This is the concern of the justice movement. Justice, you know, is my how can I say, cohort just spoke so vehemently. You know, we're tardy on the justices, so we need to be a little bit more concerned and a little bit more prompt in our responses. Here again, let's incorporate the energy of our youth in the hopes that we can resolve some of these crises that we're subject to. Thanking you in advance.
Thank you. We have no additional public comment cards. We will now go to item number 10, closed session. The Board of Police Commissioners will now recess into closed session to discuss item numbers 10A, 1, 2, and 3 in accordance with various government codes.
I'm Jeff. This is JD from Sun Valley. You're watching LA City View, Channel 35. Our city, our channel. That awesome?
Welcome to At Your Library. It's one of the most amazing destinations in Los Angeles. It's a place that offers more to the citizens of LA than almost any place in the city. I'm talking about the Los Angeles Public Library's Central Library. Our feature stories today will take a close look at the crown jewel of the Los Angeles Public Library system. If you've never been to the Central Library, you're about to discover a world-class multimedia resource. And if you have been there, we're going to take you to places in the Central Library we know you've never been. As Andrew Tarr discovers, the library just about has it all.
The world has changed so much in the last few months. My life isn't what it used to be. But then it dawned on me.
The Los Angeles Public Library. My future begins here.
This is it, the Central Library, the heart of the Los Angeles Public Library system, where the wisdom of the ages is stored and the promise of the future is born.
Everything you need is right here. You can travel the world. You can remake yourself. You can mold the future.
If information is power, then when I'm at the library, I'm the most powerful man on earth. Think of the Central Library as your staycation destination. Think about it. Whatever your age, the finest entertainment at better than rock-bottom prices. Because it's free.
You can also have a working staycation. Think about it.
Out of work? Worried about losing your job? Take it from me. You can rebuild your entire life starting here.
To help you plan your business empire or just make better investment decisions,